Come closer. Imagine risking everything on a silent yes. It's midnight. You're a nameless outsider hiding in a powerful man's shadows. One wrong move? Exile. One right move? A dynasty. Tonight, a dusty sandal and a secret, whispered in the dark, will change history. Ruth is walking into the lion's den, not to fight, but to find a king. The harvest was ending, my love. The air in Bethlehem smelled of toasted grain and sweat. Naomi and Ruth had survived the hungry months, but survival isn't the same as belonging. They were safe for now. But what about tomorrow? What about when Naomi's bones grew too tired to walk? Naomi sat by the lamp, her eyes bright with a sudden, dangerous spark. She called Ruth to her. My daughter, it is time to find you a home, a place where you are not just a guest, but a queen. Wash yourself, Naomi instructed. Anoint yourself with oil. Put on your finest cloak. Tonight, Boaz is at the threshing floor, winnowing the barley. Do not let him see you until he has finished eating and drinking. And then you will go to him. Can you imagine it? The fear? Ruth was a foreigner, a widow. If she were caught, she could be shamed, driven out. Shadows, silence, waiting. Ruth didn't argue. She didn't tremble. Well, maybe she did, just a little. But she tucked her hair under her veil and stepped out into the silver moonlight. The threshing floor was a circle of hard-packed earth. Boaz lay at the edge of a great heap of grain, wrapped in his cloak, dreaming of rain and heavy stalks. The fire had died down to glowing embers. Ruth crept forward. Breath, cold, closer. She didn't wake him with a shout. She knelt at his feet and gently lifted the corner of his blanket. She lay there, tucked into the edge of his warmth, her heart hammering against her ribs like a trapped bird. Boaz bolted upright. "Who is there?" his voice rasped. He saw a shape in the dark, a woman. "I am Ruth, your servant," she said, her voice steady despite the dark. "Spread the corner of your garment over me, for you are my Redeemer." Oh, it was a bold request. In those days, asking a man to spread his garment was saying, "Protect me, marry me, bring me into your family." She wasn't just asking for bread anymore. She was asking for a future. Boaz didn't turn her away. He saw her heart. "The Lord bless you," he whispered. "You have shown more kindness now than at the beginning. I will do all you ask." But then, the secret. "There is a problem, Ruth," Boaz said, his brow furrowing in the moonlight. "There is another relative, a man closer to Naomi than I am. He has the first dibs on the land and on you. I must settle it with him tomorrow." The sun rose hot and bright. Boaz didn't wait. He went straight to the city gate, the place where the elders sat, where the laws were made, and where secrets were brought into the light. He sat on a stone bench and waited. And there he came, the other relative. We don't even know his name. Let's call him Mr. No Name. "Ho!" Boaz called out. "Sit here." 10 elders gathered. The air was thick with dust and expectation. Boaz played it like a master musician. "Naomi is selling the land that belonged to her husband," Boaz said. "You are the first in line to buy it. Do you want it?" Mr. No Name smiled. "I'll buy it," he said quickly. "Free land? Who wouldn't want that?" But then Boaz leaned in. "On the day you buy the land, you also acquire Ruth the Moabite, the widow, to keep the family name alive." Mr. No Name's smile vanished. He thought of his own money, his own inheritance. He didn't want a foreign widow. He didn't want the complication of Ruth. I cannot do it," he stammered. "Take the right of redemption yourself." In those days, to seal a deal, you took off your sandal and handed it to the other person. Mr. No Name handed his dusty shoe to Boaz. Done. Signed. Secured. Boaz stood tall. "Today," he shouted to the crowd, "you are witnesses. I have bought the land, and I have taken Ruth to be my wife." And so, the girl who arrived in Bethlehem with nothing but a handful of stalks and a heavy heart became the lady of the house. But the best part? It wasn't the gold or the grain. It was the afternoon when the neighbor women gathered at Naomi's house. Naomi wasn't Mara or bitter anymore. She sat in the sun, her face lined with 1,000 smiles, holding a bundle wrapped in linen. A grandson. His name was Obed. Ruth looked at Naomi, and Naomi looked at the baby. The emptiness was gone. The hunger was finished. But listen, little one. Obed grew up and had a son named Jesse. And Jesse had a son, a shepherd boy named David, who would slay a giant and become the great king of Israel. And generations later, from that same line, in that same dusty town of Bethlehem, a star would hang over a manger. Ruth, the outsider. Ruth, the girl from the wrong side of the border. She wasn't just part of the story. She was the grandmother of the King of Kings. God doesn't see outsiders, my love. He only sees hearts that are brave enough to say, "I'll follow you." And that is why we never give up hope, even when the fields are dry. You never know what king is waiting to be born from your yes. Now, tuck those blankets tight. Deep breaths. The stars are watching over you, just like they watched over Ruth on the threshing floor. Good night, little soul. See you in the morning.